Hey everyone, this is Dylan Torres. So I'm giving you guys a breakdown on what deck I played at the case tournament in Odessa, Texas. I played Sky Striker. I got third place. I played a deck I was very comfortable with. I wasn't gonna play this deck at first because I was gonna play the Chaos Thunder Dragon deck. But my friend Steven Lorengo decided that he wanted to play it because he was going last minute. So I had to give him his cards back. And then I was gonna play Salad with my brother Giovanni Rangel. I made his list, and then he made some changes to it, and I made my own, like the same list that he first had. But I decided not to play that deck because I didn't want to lose to two hand traps, which the best hand traps in the format are Nibiru and Impermanence. And that deck has a hard time playing around Nibiru. So I decided to play a deck that I was comfortable with, and I played Striker. Um, this deck also has like a 50-50 matchup against like every combo deck. Luckily, there wasn't like too many combo decks. There was a Dragon Link deck. There was one Adamancipator deck. Um, there's some Orcust players there. I lost to one of the Orcust players that also beat me in top four. I lost to him round five as well. Let me give y'all some brief like rundowns on my matches so y'all can understand what I played against. Um, so round one, I played against Pendulum. I 2-0'd him. The matchup's like kind of scary. Cause I'm playing a go in second deck. Um, so if I don't draw like one to two hand traps with Ray, then I don't think I'm winning that game. But if you have two hand traps and you're like finding a way to have Ray in hand as well for like next turn, then you should be fine. Um, his combo wasn't like optimal to every other pendulum combos. He would usually end on like Keratic Seal, Abramax, and like Vortex and Pass. Which that was enough for me to out. Um, it, I don't know that like I felt he didn't have too much experience with the deck. That's why he didn't do so well. Also, you had to read my striker cards, so that's probably like another reason why I won. So I 2-0'd Pendulum. Round two was Zoodiac. I 2-0'd them. Not much to say about that deck. Round three was against Adamancipator. That deck was pretty easy to beat, honestly. Uh, the only hand traps I really used throughout the matchup was Nibiru and Impermanence. I never used Ash. The only time I used Veiler was like once, but the rest of the time it was for the Needle Fiber combo. It was pretty easy. His inning plays were like, still the same combo, but without like Herald and stuff, because he'd usually overlay Herald and like another level 4 to make the Gallant to add Block Dragon, because that was his only other way of like comboing off more. But the majority of the times I had hand traps to stop him, and he had no other extenders to continue playing. Round 4 was against Invoked Dogmatika. The matchup's kind of easy. Uh, honestly, because the Dogmatika cards are bricks. Like, not, I wouldn't say like bricks, which I just did, but I would say like garnets. Those cards really don't do much against Sky Striker. Um, like the only real play they have is like Mecha Bus set 2 pass with like a Dogmatica on board. Sky Striker can just easily beat over all that. So that match was, we went to game 3. I lost game 1 and then I won game 2 and 3. Mystic Mind Metaverse is probably the best card against that matchup as well. Round 5 is whenever I lost to the Orcust player that beat me in top 4. As you can see, I don't play Artifact Lancia, but if I had Lancia, the matchup was so free. We'll discuss more about that later. Top 8, played against Dragon Link at 2 of the Dragon Link. He was still semi-fairly new to the deck, but he knew how to combo off. But again, I had the correct hand traps to stop him. And just Ray itself is enough to get you going. Top 4, I lost to the same Orcust player that beat me round 5. But without any further ado, let's get onto my deck profile. Played 3 Ray, 2 Rose. My original list was playing 3 because I was playing the Utopia package, but I found those cards weren't good. Because if you're making that card, You're more optimal losing to hand traps than anything. Um, and she's also there for the name. 3 Ash. It's probably the worst hand trap I've played in my deck. That probably should have been Gamma instead, because Gamma would have done so much more than Ash. Also, Gamma's a tuner. 3 Nibiru, it's best hand trap. 3 Effect Veiler. I used it a couple of times, but mainly it was for the Needle Fiber combo. I also played Pankratops. I wanted to have easy matchups against all the combo decks and all the back row decks that made so many floodgates. Because against the Adamancipator deck, you can easily bait out Herald and Pearl Savage. You summon Prankatops, attack the Herald, and then you can use Prankatops to bait out the Savage negate by trying to pop it. So that's 2 negates down, and then all you have to deal with is like an Appa. Uh, Probably should have been a driver because I really never summoned it. I summoned it a few times, but I never really like did anything else with it. So Ash and Prankertop should have been Gamma and Driver. 2 Area Zero. That's all you really need because you have Terraforming, and you can also Hayate send it to add it back with a Kugari. 2 Afterburner. You just want to have easier matchups against all the combo decks. Drones. 3 Shot Cannon. It allows you to easily go into the Needle Fiber combo when your opponent hand traps you, or if they just like discard hand traps that are not good. It's also good against the Orcust deck, which I use it a lot in the Orcust deck because I kept recycling it back from multi-row. It also gives you like an easier matchup against the Adamancipator deck because you banish Block Dragon, and then from there they're gonna have to deck thin to search for another Block Dragon, but you have your hand traps to stop them. 2 Weight Anchor. The only reason why I played 2 is because we weren't playing with the new list, so that's why I played 2. This card should definitely be at 3. Thank God it's back at 3. 1 multi-row. And I decided to play Hercules base because I found myself in the late games, like the grand games, to be running out of a lot of resources, like all my links. So, like, if you're good, you shouldn't have to play this card. But knowing like how many like rogue decks were gonna be there, I found myself needing this card. And also, the second effect comes up sometimes. It's when you have 3 more spells in the grave and it's equipped to a striker card. When it attacks, it can attack twice, and each time it destroys a monster by battle, you get to draw a card. So you're actually just deck thinning more into like your hand traps or even like your other cards that can get you going for like your opponent's turn. It's pretty good. I also recycled it back a lot with multi-row and Hayate and Kugari because you Hayate send it, add it back with Kugari. Have like a few strikers in the grave, pop it with multi-row. Same thing your next turn, add it back with Kagari, keep popping it, recycle more stuff back. You're never running out of resources. 3 Cosmic Cyclone. I probably should have played 2 and like another copy of Mystic Mine in the main or like something like that. But I didn't want to lose to the back row decks. And also I didn't want to lose to uh the Strudo Sword Break. Not the Sword Break, the Buster Lock that the Dragon Link can make. Also, Thunder Dragon, Chaos Thunder Dragon can make it too. Um, it came up a few times against the Dogmatika deck, and against the Orcust deck it came up a lot too because you banish Babbles and Crescendos and stuff. Um, Not really much more to say about this card. It's pretty good. Upstart because we were playing 39 cards. We want to be as consistent as possible. Pot of Zara is this card. I play it at 3 because it says draw 2 cards, and you're also deck sending a lot. That's why you also play multiple copies of each hand trap, especially Veiler because you need it for the Needle Fiber combo. Rhoda, essentially another Ray or Rose. Terraforming, essentially like Area Zero or Mystic Mine. One Mystic Mine in the main. Each time I resolve this card, I always win the match in the game. This card's absurd. To be fair, I honestly think it's the best card in the game. I think it's the most fairest card in the game. 3 permanents because it's the best hand trap. Also, it doesn't lose to like Call by the Grave or Tactical, the triple tactical. Also negates something in the same column if you set it, which never came up for me because I always used it from the hand. But the times it would come up, it helped. Extra deck, we got 3 Kagari, 3 Shizuku, 3 Hayate. You need it. Third one came up a lot for me. 1 Kaina, 1 Zeke. These are pretty standard. Then I played the World Chalice Warrior. It was there. Me and my friend Lorenzo Dominguez talked about it a lot. It was there for like the Blacklisted Soldier link because I have no out to it besides needle fiber, or not needle fiber, access code talker. But by then, I'd rather like save that for later games. And it was also there for the Red Eyes Dragoon, but I never made it against that because all I would do is just play Mystic Mine and like keep attacking Hayate. Um, the time I made it, I don't even think I made it once, but it should have came up a lot, especially against the Orcust matchup because he played the Dragoons. I tried finding ways to make it. There's ways I could have made it, but I just never saw like correct plays to make it. But it was always there just in case. It's a pretty good card. It's a non-targeting removal. Celine for the needle fiber combo, needle fiber of course, and then Access Code Talker. Side deck we got the second copy of Mystic Minds. We got Set Rotation, one Jamming Waves because if it's a going second deck, and against all the back row decks, you can easily play this. It's a searchable pop. Three Dark Ruler no more. Honestly, I should have played Artifact Lancia instead of this card. Because against all the combo decks, especially in Infernoble, they can rip this card out of your hand. It's not that good. And if you activate this card and you don't clear your opponent's board the same turn you activate this card, you're probably losing the next turn. Lancia would have done so much more than this card, especially against the Orcust matchup. This did nothing against the Orcust matchup. The only thing I stopped was like Dragoons. Too evenly. I just didn't want to lose to the back row decks. It's also okay against the combo decks as well. Two Psalms in case you go first. Three there can only be one. I cited it a few times. It's good going first and or second, especially against the Orcust matchup. You can also side it against the Adamancipator matchup. It's pretty good. Other than that, I don't think I really sided it. And then Metaverse, because Mystic Minds. Let me give some brief explanations of like some card choices I would change. So of course these would be Gammas, because Gammas would have done way more than this card. Uh, like Adamancipator at the time could play around one, like two hand traps. Ash being the worst hand trap, because it literally just tells your opponent stop one effect, but then if they have more extenders, this card is absolutely terrible. Um, Prankatops would be Driver because you want like Driver and Gammas, or I would even keep Prankatops to take out like a Cosmic Cyclone, and just have two in the main and cut these and one of these for the Gamma package. Definitely play three Widow Anchor. You would probably take out like a Veiler or a Pot of Desires. Artifact Lancias over the Dark Ruler Nemours, of course. These cards really don't do much, but with Emancipator, it's probably not going to be like a high tier deck anymore with the new list. You could probably still play this and just take out like Evenleys for Artifact Lancias, if anything. Extra deck was okay. I probably would take out the World Chalice Warrior, but I probably won't. Just keep it there just in case. It does in some situations that does come up. Um, and I think that's pretty much it. So I'll give shoutouts now. So shoutouts to everyone who let me borrow cards. Walker Semino, Steven Lorengo. Shoutouts to my boys Ezekiel, aka Ziggy. Shoutouts to Dallas Bailey. Shoutouts to Uriel Diaz. Shouts to Giovanni Rangels, my brother. Shouts to Lorenzo Dominguez. We talked hours about this deck Friday night before the tournament. We deck theoried a lot. He told me to play Lancia, and I didn't play Lancia because I was stuck between Evelyn and Lancia. Probably should have played Lancia instead. Um, Shoutouts to Luis Garcia because he wants to play this deck, and I hope this helps a lot, bro. And shouts to everybody else that helped me through the tournament and told me like certain matchups and stuff and how to play the deck better. And that's pretty much it. Thank you.